If you're looking at new job offers, one of the things a lot of people get wrong is they don't ask enough questions about the benefits plans, specifically the retirement savings plans, whether it's the 401k or the RRSPs. In Canada, there's a huge difference between what some small businesses can offer as far as group plans through some of the big insurance and investment funds and what they can offer if they're choosing a discount brokerage. And the difference can add up to hundreds of thousands. When you're starting out your career, you can make a mistake like I did. My employer chose a group investment fund where the management fees were super high. The MER, the management expense ratio, was over 1% for investment. So if the stock market was doing well, making 9%, and I had lots invested during that year and in previous years, things would be going fine. 9% would be reduced to 8%, 7.2 or 7.6%.
One of the biggest mistakes I've ever made investing.
By being invested and working with this employer, it turned out on years where I was only making 4% or 2%, almost all of the returns were eaten up by the management expense ratio of the funds that I had to invest in. And they charged additional fees because I didn't have $10,000 invested in the account. So it ended up taking out all the profits and eating into the returns. So I actually lost money on this investment over 20 years. If you're about to start a new job, asking what the retirement plan is, how it's composed. So we do an employer matching. So we offer, I think it's between 3 and 4%. If the employee puts in 3%, we put in 3%. So you're effectively doubling your money right away with employers that do matching. Sometimes they're as much as 5 or 6%. I would love to get to that position where we're able to have for that 5 or 6% matching, because that means that somebody making $100,000 is able to invest about $10,000 a year, and $5,000 of that is funded by the employer and it's tax-free. So it really makes a difference year over year, especially if it's in low-cost index funds. We really had to shop around and find not the big banks. The big banks will offer small businesses some of the worst group investment plans for the employees because they think it's expensive to manage these funds, and they're not using robo investing, or they're not using computer generated index funds that are low cost. I'd really encourage you, if you're about to get a job offer or you're thinking about applying at a company and you have a chance to talk to somebody on the inside, say, tell me about their retirement plan. What does it look like? Who is it with? Do you have any idea of what funds they can invest in? It's something that you probably shouldn't ask in the middle of an interview, but you could say in the middle of an interview or at the end of the interview, if you have any questions, do you have a benefit summary? And do you have any details of what the 401k or RSP are? And please, would you mind sending those to me? That's a great question to ask, because it shows you actually want to be with the company long term and you're interested. It's not grilling them and saying, hey, am I going to get the return I want on this investment? It helps you understand if they're organized, if they have that ready to go, and if they can get it to you. And it makes them think, hey, this person is going to be with us in the long term. They're thinking about the retirement possibilities and how this can be funded through us. Sometimes they don't have one, which is okay. Hopefully the base compensation or the bonus compensation will make up for it. We ended up choosing a company called Just Wealth, which has management fees in the kind of 0.5, 0.6%, which are not great compared to self-directed. It's really hard to find low-cost funds as low as Vanguard and places like that when it comes to group plans. If an employer has really shopped around, they can find those ones that are fairly low cost, low fees, with no additional fees for low balances, and really get you into a good plan. Some of the large players in Canada are just the worst. Manulife and Sun Life, the management fees they can charge you will eat up all of your profits in mediocre years, and on bad years, you'll end up losing thousands over 5 or 10 years. So I wouldn't turn down a job if you're unemployed just because they're investing in a group RSP or a group 401k that doesn't fit your liking, because you can always transfer that out once you get to a certain amount. Be willing to accept a job, but also look for those employers who've done the work in finding a low-cost investment option for you.